When a lot more properties come on the market, I have two feelings. And I'm in Los Angeles, but we go all over the United States. And I'm thinking here, I'm thinking, number one, okay, this is a good thing for buyers, right? Like they get more selection and they can now take a look at more homes without worrying about the home flying off the shelves. And they're like, oh man, I really like that one. I wish I could put in an offer. Number two, more properties for sale also means that there's a risk of value going down. But it's all regional. And I want you to pay attention to your specific area. There's an article that just popped up, and I am going to share it with you. And we're going to go into two areas. I want to take a look at Detroit, Michigan, and I want to take a look at Seattle, Washington. And look, if you ever have a city that you want me to dive into, just let me know. We'll dive into it. But the first article I want to share with you is one by Redfin, and they're titling it, here we go. Let's see what the title is. New listings rise 8%, giving the New Year's buyers more homes to choose from. Yeah, that's one of the things, right? That's like, okay, I like this. But if you take a look at one thing here, this is their data, and it comes from the metro areas that they follow closely, right? So it's not all data everywhere, but it's good enough to understand what's happening with the supply. And if we scroll down where I want to show you, I highlighted this because all this data is great. By the way, I did put this article link in the description, so take a look there. I want to take a look at two things, pending sales and new listings. So we take a look at pending sales where they're doing well. You see me highlighting the little green area there. That's Detroit. If you go over one where it says Orlando, let me show you here, where you see Orlando, that means it's not doing well. There are less homes selling than a year ago. And so we look at this and we're like, well, what the heck is happening in Detroit? In fact, what's happening in Anaheim, California? Because that's pretty close to Detroit as far as percentage increase. New Brunswick, New Jersey, San Francisco, and Los Angeles, right? And I'm in LA, Ventura County. So I take a look at this and I'm like, this is crazy that we have pending sales there. But are the amount of listings that are coming up in these areas, do they match the amount of homes that are also going under contract, right? The pending sales. And this is where we have to see, okay, let's take a look at this. New listings. We have 48% more new listings in San Francisco. That is massive, right? Everyone's putting up their home on the market in San Francisco. Probably for one of two reasons. One, properties look like they're finally selling. They've reached a point where people are like, hey, you know what? This is actually a great deal. We're going to buy. The challenge there you'll find are more condos. The condos have really taken a hit a lot over the last few years. But still, long term, San Francisco is a great place to purchase. Oakland, new listings, 36.6% up. Seattle, which we're going to take a look at, 21.6%. Virginia Beach and San Jose. Now we take a look at the opposite here. New listings popping up. The opposite, that means, hey, look, it looks like there's a decrease of the amount of listings that are coming up. San Antonio, Detroit, Austin, Orlando, Nassau County in New York. And I'm going to take one here and say new listings. There are less popping up in New York, in Detroit. But if we go back here, what happened here? There are a lot of properties going under contract in Detroit. So now what happens there is there are less homes to choose from, which is going to maybe drive up the sales if there aren't enough new listings coming up in those areas. So you see how you compare that, and you take a look at new listings and pending sales, and you have Orlando in both on the negative side, right? Less new listings, but less pending sales. So it could be like it's more of an equal market there, right? So there's a lot in the data. Let's go right into Seattle first for new listings, just to understand. And I'm using something called Altos Research. So if you have Altos, use it. I love it. We use it often. You type in the city up here, you have condos, houses, condos, and co-ops. Let's stick with houses, and we're going to zoom out, and then we're going to zoom in here to take a look and show you. This is a real-time market profile is what they call it. Median list price, median price of new listings coming up, right? And price per square foot. What I look for are a couple of things here. Median days on market is important for me. Let's highlight this as we're talking. I like to take a look at where this number has been over the last few months. Is it getting more competitive, more hot? It looks like during October, you see 42 days on market, and then it started creeping up rapidly, I would say, to about 77, and it's been stable for Christmas. It's normal. Less people see property during this time. People are in Christmas and holidays and New Year's. So we should see that number come down in the next few weeks. Now, price decrease is what I'm looking for too, because people get desperate. They're like, hey, I've had my home on the market for a while. Why isn't it selling? They're either going to take it off the market or they're going to do a price decrease, which we've seen here, like December 6th to December 27th. You have slightly less decreases. People usually stabilize during this time, which is normal. And then we go up to the top, which is the median price of new listings coming up. So it looks like a lot more lower price, brand new. And median list price, those properties that are being listed, they haven't sold yet, they're being listed, and that's $949,000. You need to take a look at this data, and then what Altos does really well here is they give us something called the Market Action Index. And it indicates, based on all that data, where this market is. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? And I would say, even in Seattle, Washington, it depends on the area. This isn't going to be the case that it's always a seller's market. It's a healthy market, right? Now let's go back here and let's take a look at Detroit, right? Let's take a look at Detroit and what's happening there, because we saw Detroit come up a few times. Let's see what we got. Detroit, Michigan, right? Here we go. Let's view this report. If we take a look at the market index report, it looks like it's an even market. Okay, good. Now let's take a look at the median list price. That's a significant drop then from Seattle, right? But we know Detroit has been suffering for a long time with housing, right? So we got 95,000 as a median list price, and then we've got median days on market 77, so similar to Seattle. Price decreases less. And then we can take a look at inventory. We want to compare both, which we didn't on the other one, but the inventory has remained pretty flat. Now, let's go to really quick data. Detroit was on the pending sale side, right? That means they're having a lot of properties go under contract. And Detroit, let's put this green over here too so we don't lose it. Detroit over here on the new listing side is also having less inventory. So what is going to happen if we take a look at this? If that continues, this is going to go up to the seller's market. And that's where prices start going up. I mean, prices are already low for the area. They're just waiting for something great to happen there. Now, there's something important to also take a look at. I grabbed a Housing Wire article. It was really good to take a look at mortgage applications in general. And if you take a look at what's happening here, mortgage applications, which typically are around here, you see 2023. I wish they had 2022 and 2021. But you can see here, this is where they're usually at for December. Now, for some reason, mortgage applications shot up. And it looks like it dropped, but then it's shooting up. This could be an indication that for the next few weeks and even month, we could be starting this whole cycle of spring uptick for properties going up. Everyone's been waiting for a much lower rate. They understand now that rates are going to stay around the sixes on average, low to mid sixes for the year. They may hit the low sevens, they may hit the high fives, but it's going to go up and down. What are you seeing in your area? Please subscribe, share this with somebody. And if you want me to jump into a city and show you the Altos research breakdown, I will. Have an awesome day.